Hey guys, you're welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time on here, you're welcome to Bam's Vlogs. I am a Nigerian lifestyle vlogger, and it's been a while guys. Honestly, so many people have been asking me what's happening, where I have been after I put out my last introduction video, which was my first video. I took a break guys, like so many things were happening. I needed time to reflect, I needed time to get myself together and regroup so that I can come back to serve you guys more juicy content and all. So yeah, I am back full time now, and I promise to serve you more content and to be more consistent. So today's video is basically going to be about how I deal with anxiety, creative blocks, and personal growth. So what is anxiety? Anxiety is a healthy state of being worried or afraid or nervous or anxious. That state, I say healthy because it's not a bad thing. Everybody goes through anxiety, honestly. Like even children and adults alike all go through anxiety. There is no age grade for that. Yes, because anxiety mostly happens when you're trying to transition into the next phase of something or try out something new, because you're worried about the outcome of that event or situation. So it could just as well be a child, going to primary school for the first time and being worried about, what that entails. Or it could even be a student who just got admission into the university and being worried about how to go about life in the university. Or it could even be a new bride or groom getting married and having anxiety, worrying about what that journey entails. Or all of those things tend to lead to anxiety, and it is just a stage where you're worried. You worry about so many things, and that worry can lead you to become stagnant or can become overwhelming. So yeah, basically that is what I have been dealing with. I have been dealing with anxiety for a while because I just finished my national youth service, and I'm in this stage in my life where I'm about to become a full adult. I don't know if there's a half adult, but yeah, I'm at this point where I'm supposed to make decisions for my life, make choices, decide my career path, become more. And I was just worried about so many things. I just found myself being anxious, nervous, worried about what this journey entails. So yeah, I have been at that stage, and anxiety is not far-fetched from a creative block. A creative block is just when you are lacking inspiration or motivation. You don't have the zeal to put out stuff. Your ideas are everywhere. You have ideas basically, but you don't know how to go about those ideas or how to explore those ideas. So yeah, that's basically what a creative block is. And all of that, when you suffer from a creative block, you tend to make excuses, you tend to wait, you tend to hesitate on things, you tend to worry, to put out new projects or do things that you're meant to do, because you are just at a stage where you're trying to put it together. So yes, I have been experiencing a creative block, and it's not been funny for the past 1 month after I put out my first video. So many things were going on with me, and I just realized that I didn't have the zeal to post. I didn't have the zeal to be creative, to source content. Basically, mine also stemmed from the fact that I was overwhelmed at some point. So I actually took a break from social media, because social media back then became an issue for me. I was overwhelmed with what so many people were doing. I felt like, oh my god, like maybe I'm not doing enough or something, because that is what a creative block is also about. It's just your inner self telling you, you could be better, you're not doing enough, that sort of thing. So yeah, I was just all over the place, and my ideas didn't seem good enough to me. I was like, oh, how do I put this out? How do I do this? How do I go about this? And I just found myself lacking the zeal or inspiration to do any of those things. I found myself waiting and hesitating, and it's been a struggle. But I I had to tell myself that I can do this, and I had to look for ways to overcome this creative block in my life. So I did, of course, a step of research, and I realized that creative blocks are not that bad. In fact, it is very normal. It happens to all creatives, whether you are a designer, you are an artist, you are a musician, actress, you are a YouTuber, you are a blogger, whichever one you are, we all go through creative blocks at some point in our various fields. There are different types of creative blocks and ways to overcome them, but I will focus on the positive effect of having creative blocks and how to overcome them. So creative blocks remind us that we are unique and simply human. I mean, we go through life just like every normal human being. I mean, life happens, things don't always go as planned, and there just comes a point where you need to take a break, stand back, focus on the things that matter to you while blocking out things that don't. Also, creative blocks help us do our best works. So most creatives are almost like perfectionists. We like to put out our best work, and we like to boldly believe that art can change the world, just like one of my popular mentors will say, everything are art. Yeah, so it could just be your inner self telling you could do better. And when that happens, you stay up late, you want to put in that extra work and effort to build yourself and build your skills. And when you've put in all the work, you will see that it makes all the difference. Also, creative blocks help us to discern the right timing. I mean, at that point when you feel stuck, it could just be a sign that it is not the right time to put out a particular content or project you're working on. So it all goes back to you just taking time to focus and plan until you feel ready or prepared to put out your project or work, as well as build your creative skills and abilities. Generally, overcoming any creative block is just for you to find your inspiration. Listen to music, dance, exercise, watch movies, read books, go out, go on an adventure, go to new places, meet new people. That way, do things that will motivate you, because that is the only way to find inspiration and new ideas as well. And when you do that, you'll be right back on track. So yeah, basically being creative is just learning to listen to your heart, your mind, your soul, and your ears. Finally, we have personal growth. Personally, I don't believe there is a limit or expiration to self-developing yourself. The world is evolving, industries, technologies keep changing every single day, and as such, you have to be up to par with these things, so you have to keep learning. So I will be sharing some of my tips for self-developing yourself. Number one is read. Like, guys, reading is something most of us struggle with. I know it's not easy, but it is very important to read, because reading is your ticket to success. Reading informs and enlightens you. Reading broadens your knowledge on things you'd never come across in your daily life activities. Guys, reading exposes you. Reading wipes away ignorance. Reading has so many benefits. If you want to grow, guys, you need to read to learn new things. They say if you want to share an idea, put it in a book. So if you want to learn new things, guys, you have to make time to read. Secondly is to be self-aware. So self-awareness is very important. Write down your weaknesses and your strengths and your skills. Like, it's very important, guys. A lot of us struggle with admitting or accepting our weaknesses, and as such, it affects us unconsciously. But the only way to improve your life and grow is to build your strengths and your skills and work on your weaknesses. Honestly, it's going to go a long way in helping you to develop yourself. Also, we have clarity. Clarity is very important because you need to know the kind of message you are passing across to your audience. Content influences lives negatively or positively. So it is very important to be very clear about what message your brand stands for. For instance, you can be a baker or an actress. No, a baker and an actress. So you need to know which audience is following you to learn baking tips, or which audience is following you to learn acting. You need to be able to infuse these two into your personality so that you have a clear message and there's no confusion about the message you're trying to pass across to your audience. Next is vision of purpose. So basically, having a vision just means considering the bigger picture. I mean, you ask yourself, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see your career? What is your ideal life going to be like? What do you want your life to be like? So that's just what having a vision is all about, looking beyond now, you get, and working towards it. And the only way you can do that is by writing down what you really want to achieve in this life. Honestly, you write it down. It's not okay to just have it in your head. You need to put it down and set measurable goals. Next is consistency. Oh guys, there is a saying that content is power and consistency is control. So you need to be consistent. It's just like as you're growing as a child, from the baby stage, developing, you need to keep eating to grow. If you don't eat, you won't grow. It's the same thing. The same process applies to being consistent. Anything in this life you want to do, you have to be consistent. They say practice makes perfect. They say there's a power behind repetition, because the more you do something, the more you grow in that thing, and before you know, you become an expert or a professional. So yes, consistency is very key. Keep at that thing no matter how long it takes. Continue until you get to your fullest potentials. A lot of people have knowledge, but they don't know how to turn that knowledge into skills and apply it correctly to be able to lay the proper foundation for their lives. So it's very important to explore and hone or build your skills. Also, we have passion. Guys, if you do not love what you are doing, anything you want to do in this life, if you don't love it, as in have mad love for it, you cannot succeed in that field. Having passion means that they should be able to wake you up in the middle of the night to ask you about that thing, and you would be as excited as though you in the daytime to talk about that thing or to share knowledge about that thing. That is what passion means. And passion produces purpose. You need drive, because without passion, you can't have vision, you can't have potential. So yeah, all these things go hand in hand. Finally, patience, guys. Patience is so important. You need to be patient with yourself. You need to enjoy your process, but then be mindful of time wasting as well. Just because they say you should be patient doesn't now mean you should be wasting time masking it under being patient. But every good thing takes time to grow, guys. Like nothing good comes easy. You need to wait, work, plan when you're planting or farming. That period in which you're putting in the work, when you're weeding, you're watering, you're those processes, you're feeding the plant with manure and all that. That is the patient process, because overnight success does not last, guys. So you need to be patient and enjoy your process. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it just as much as I enjoyed filming it. Please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, like it, and let me know how you deal with anxiety, creative blocks, and personal growth. Share some of your tips with me. I'm open to learning as well. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next